Paragraph through Riliclet for redi a times I circumflex I groven tilde or not sign 0 simple 3 c Riliclet for bdj acute I circumflex degrees a pound. He requested Patch to sing their first meeting song again. With a choked voice, Patch sang as the man left painlessly. After exiting the ward, Patch saw a mother wailing to see her daughter following a recent car accident. Her husband and son were gone. Her daughter lay critically ill in the ICU, but the hospital demanded she fill out forms first. Who could handle paperwork in such grief? Patch then vented to Truman about how ridiculous the hospital procedures were, and soon others joined the complaint fest. They ultimately concluded that the best idea was to never get sick. This sparked a light bulb moment in Patch's head build a patient-centric hospital. Here, learning is paramount, love the ultimate goal. With the mental hospital billionaire's help, he got a meadow and some rights to a little wooden cabin. Soon, he and Catherine, along with Truman, began renovating, and the Love Hospital was bursting at the seams with broke folks needing care. They were filled with homeless drifters who helped and encouraged each other. Everything was going as Patch had hoped, until a certain man crashed their party. He was a self-harming patient, and Catherine took one look at this odd guy and instantly had doubts. But the optimistic Patch said if they rejected him, no hospital would likely heed his plea. So he stayed. In the days that followed, Patch and Catherine's relationship heated up, and they finally established they were officially united. Catherine, who had been hurt in past relationships, confessed to Patch, "In my life, I seemed to attract all kinds of men. When I was a kid, I'd stare out my window at the roaches. I bullied them relentlessly. No matter what their past situation was, they'd always hide. And they turn into beautiful flying creatures. I hated them for it. I never thought I'd relate to them, see, turns out that's why I couldn't accept Patch's love. Even though she had loved him for ages, maybe that's what love does, see, it tears you apart and draws you back in like a moth to a flame." Next morning, Patch read a love letter tenderly. Just as Catherine was absorbed, Truman burst in, ruining the mood. It turns out they were short on medical supplies, so they snuck into the hospital at night to snag some. Meanwhile, Catherine got a voicemail from the self-harming guy. Feeling under the weather, she wished someone would check on her, even though thinking of Pat's words that morning, she felt compelled to act. Unexpectedly, this led to an eternal farewell, leaving Catherine in that endless summer. At the funeral, Patch hid behind a big tree until everyone had left. Then he bravely emerged to finish reading that love letter to Catherine. The optimistic Patch finally broke down. At this moment, her life lost direction again. Patch finally grasped the dean's words. Humans can't be trusted. He decided to leave this sorrowful place. Truman saw and urged him not to quit, but Patch, disgusted with humanity, yelled back, "Everyone is great. Trust everyone, you know, Truman. In all of God's creation, humans are the only ones that kill their own kind." Truman was left speechless. As Patch decided to return to the mental hospital, the chubby rival blocked his way. "What are you doing?" "I saw this cute little purple girl. I visited her room for 3 weeks straight and couldn't get her to eat anything. I know she has so much to learn about medication. I've been reading up like crazy. I guarantee I can't get any doctor to make a diagnosis in this hospital. But I just can't get her to eat. But you have a gift. You've got that special human touch. They love you. If you leave, I can't learn your ways." Patch felt defeated and continued toward the spot where he and Catherine first admired the view. He shouted to the sky, questioning God's injustice. No one replied, so Patch gazed into the abyss. Just as he decided to jump, a butterfly landed on his briefcase. He recalled Catherine's words from that night. He wanted to become a carefree butterfly, then flew up, landing on Patch's chest, as if saying, "Your heart holds warmth and love." In that moment, Patch rediscovered the meaning of life and resolved to fulfill that promise made with Catherine. So he returned to the hospital and teamed up with the chubby guy to bring Miss S. Kennedy, who had been refusing to eat, to a giant bowl. Turns out, Miss S. Kennedy's dream was to swim in a giant noodle bowl. But Patch's antics finally pushed the dean over. He swiftly received a notice of expulsion. Without a second thought, Patch grabbed his file, only to find the reason for his expulsion was excessive optimism towards patients. On the chubby guy's suggestion, he appealed to court for the judge to decide his doctor eligibility. Unexpectedly, his unlicensed medical practice drew court scrutiny, with the judge asking if Patch had considered the consequences of causing death. Patch responded calmly, "What's wrong with dying? A doctor's mission shouldn't just be to delay death, but to enhance the quality of life. If we're going to fight a virus, we must combat the most severe virus, see the one of differences. If you fight a virus, even if you win, you lose. But if you confront a person, I guarantee you will win, regardless of the outcome. He then turned to all the med students and said, don't let the cold rules numb you. Practice these skills now. Chat with strangers. Befriend those great nurses dealing with blood and urine daily. They can teach you things you won't learn in class. Now you've got the power to prevent me from getting started at school. You can shelter me from getting a name in those white papers, but you can't control my spirit.